Welcome back, guys. Today's video I'm going to be showing you infinite trip mines and infinite knives. This is a pretty insane build and really just puts the DPS in on any champion. You can basically go through a whole strike without using a single weapon if you really wanted to. Except the barrier and anti-barrier and all the other champion mods. That's all you really need. This build just truly feels like better than Heart of Inmost Light. I put this together after watching a few other YouTube videos and just combined a bunch of builds. I saw a video on this build and it has the highest DPS if you use a Demolitionist rocket launcher, which will basically allow you to throw infinite nades so you'll be able to keep reloading that rocket. This build just truly worked out a blast and I'm going to go through it now. If you guys enjoyed this video or enjoyed my descriptions, it would really mean so much to me if you guys like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy. Here you go. Okay, for this build, you'll be probably wanting to use Powerful Friends just to get that maximum mobility. You're really going to be focusing on getting a pretty good amount of grenade, but this isn't really needed, but it's just a good backup if you have like that 80% left if it kind of glitches out. You definitely need 100 mobility though. This is essential to the build. For PvE, you're really just going to need resilience. I have some really low resilience and I've been farming for more, but I still just haven't got any good rolls or anything, so I'm just really struggling with being able to survive with this build. But the actual build's pretty broken and you can kind of just infinitely spam abilities. Definitely be using the Armor of the Dying Star, which is the normal like seasonal thing. These are very important. You can get away with only one of these, but like the build won't be perfect if you have to use a champion mod, but without them it's kind of tough to use it, but this really enhances the build. So the Charge of Light thing is just like a preference thing. If you really want to try to get this build consistent, you can go all in with the heavy-handed and just try to do this with heavy-handed and elemental charge of like an elemental melee spawner or something, but I wasn't really focusing on this, and the completely mods are just kind of optional if you think about it. Like, you can do a lot of things to this and really be very happy with it. Definitely say Classy Restoration, and this is actually a really important part. Solar Fragmentation, your ignitions increase damage and increase radius. This is extremely important because this adds an extra layer of damage. You could also use like this mod, Stunning Champions Cause Ignite. This is gonna be really cool, but you cannot afford them with Classy Restoration, so if you don't really care about survivability, maybe go that route. I would just recommend, like, I've seen every single person talk about the Callus Mini Tool. It's kind of overrated, but it is kind of nutty. It's been talked about so much that I just don't even want to put it in my video, but I kind of have to because it's just so good. I'm like the Riptide probably is my best secondary, and then you can use like Galley or Lament or whatever, the heavy weapon you like. Lament's kind of good because you just don't have to run the barrier champion. So this build's actually really good for like nightfalls and stuff, but the survivability part's really difficult. If you got 100 resilience, you should be good. I really struggled to survive, but this build just truly put out so much damage. Let's go into the Gunslinger tree. You're definitely going to want to triple knives. This adds like way more scorch, and it's just way easier to hit in general. And definitely want Gamblers. This is extremely important to the build. Like, you're going to need to get their melee back again just to recharge your trip mine. And you're going to be wanting to use On Your Mark. Sadly, you can't really do this build without this. I really wanted to try the Gambler's Gunpowder to get that extra grenade out, but like, you can't do anything. It's just one like fragment slot is just not good enough. Like, it's just not it. For your rest of your stuff, you're going to be wanting to use Ember of Torches. This is like a normal build like any other hunter build because you're gonna throw that knife, kill something, get it right back because of the knock him down perk at the bottom while throwing radiant knives, get throwing kills, refund melee energy. The most important part of this, Ember of Singeing. This is gonna be amazing for getting your dodge back to get that knife back, which is just gonna keep that combo going. Radiant Restoration effects apply longer. This is just a preference thing, just because I'm using like Classy Restoration. You really need the survivability part of it because this build doesn't really have many survivability parts. But another part that's actually very helpful in getting those like knights off, and the knights actually count as ability damage. So with the gauntlets, I'll describe later, this is actually really important to get those scorch stacks up and get those like knights going. This is so much fun to do with the Ember of Char. Basically, your Soul Ignite spreads Scorch, and it also spreads it to the same opponent, so you just keep burning the guy over and over, getting more dodge back. So basically, this all just comes together for such a good build. Of course, you're going to want Trip Mines. to the actual explanation of the build. So basically, you're gonna be whipping your trip mine at the guy, and it's gonna start burning them and explode them and get a good scorch stack going. Throw your melee, and because you get you get trip mine grenade energy from any ability damage. This is just not just nades, like any ability energy, knife damage, or like anything. Even the ignites actually count as abilities. I don't know why, but this actually comes together just to get those infinite. Like you could sometimes just throw 3 in a row, and that's just so satisfying to get those like boom, 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 like the explosions going off. It's just super fun to use. So this actually goes into where I'm using these bolster and focusing strike. These are all gonna get your class energy back, and the class energy is probably one of the most important part because you'll get your knife back instantly, and so hitting people with your knives will give you like almost your full grenade back, almost every time you get your full grenade back. And if you hit somebody with your grenade and then you throw it, it's 100% gonna always get it. You just gotta make sure you don't kill the enemies before they start burning, because the high kind of build is part of that. So it's more of like a DPS build. Like you can kind of use this for ad clear, just going back and forth, kind of like Heart of Inmost Light. But I think the damage part's really the most essential part, because like if you're on Titan, you can basically just do anything with ad clear. So this really just brings like a toucher to the table, you know. And I really wanted more resilience. I've been complaining about this in multiple videos. Because I'm playing on Hunter, I have like 40 resilience, which is actually higher than normal. I normally have like 20, but I was just trying to test out some mods and stuff. Recovery really isn't that needed if you have classy restoration, but in this build, like classy restoration is not always up because we're using Gambler's Dodge. So if like a normal build, you'd use Marksman, so you'd almost always have classy restoration up. Sadly, I couldn't fit any utility kickstarters on it because it would take like 1 or 2 seconds off each one, so that's sad. But for like true damage purposes, you're of course is gonna want like a Storm Tracer. I think the Riptide's one of the best fusion rifles in the game to use, and it's really underrated. And there's a bunch of other choices. You can kind of switch things around a little bit if you don't need this. There's things like making your ignitions explode effects increase, like that could be useful. I see a bunch of people using the stupid thing that when you get kills it extends like your restoration thing. I really don't think that's good in like a Nightfall, because it's really hard to get those lots of kills and stuff unless you're using a Wither Horde. You don't really have a chance to use that. Defeating scorch targets with a melee energy is really not as good as you think, because this is going to be a damage build, like more like long-term enemies, and like things like I was actually using this, even though this has an awful roll, like just having Demolitionist, like you're able to just whip one, or shoot one, whip one, shoot one, whip one, and it just keeps going. It's like, I watched the video on this build actually, and it said this is the highest damaging like build in the game because you can use Hothead, and you're also just on Hunter, so you have the best damage super in the game with Blade Barrage. I really just enjoyed this build, and it just comes together to kind of feel like Heart of Inmost Light, but like any enemy at all. Like it's instant, like boom, 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 boom. You might have to wait like 3 seconds sometimes because you might mess up the build or something, but you can just keep going. Like this is some crazy damage, and really like if you have a Demolitionist weapon on, like you're gonna never have to reload again. Like it's insane. I hope you guys enjoy this video. It meant so much to me you guys subscribed, and I really like to go in depth with these builds, so it just means so much to me to you guys hanging out with me and you guys enjoying my content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Goodbye, guys! And,
Got hit by a car. You did 500,000 with a shield.
yeah, I know. It just doesn't normally show that. Ooh. Wait, does that stop? Do ignitions stop the champion from doing his barrier?
No.
That's so weird. I just did that. Like, if you do it at the right time, like, it just stops him from being his barrier.
It definitely put his barrier up.
No. He went down and then came back up. Or came, like, right off. It was like a freezing effect.
Oh my god. What's he doing? What's he
Just shit on his fucking
They've hit
face.
base MSRP in like 2 years. Uptick 30 VDs, like it's MSRP now.
I'm surprised they are because like they literally like.
They dropped because no one wants to buy them anymore.
Oh, I thought like literally with inflation. I'm surprised that like they drop it all.
It's not inflation.
I'm surprised they drop though.
Who
Oh,
refuses to stun these unstoppables?
I thought you were gonna stop. Why you?
I see they get stunned.
I think Ethan's the only one that has on stop.
Got 4 bullets.
Die, fellow beast.
Dude, that blue
Okay,
bro
we just
no
gotta remember to
damage.
kill the champions.
I don't know, White doesn't feel as good as me. You have a good different username before.
Fuck were you guys
He's-
saying?
He and Vitiligo.
I
That's
have no
what he
idea.
said.
Can you overload? Oh wait, you don't have overload. 'Cause you're- I have overload, don't worry.
I got ammo. You don't have to moan every time you shoot somebody.
That wasn't me.
Oh, good mom.
That was hilarious.
My thing's not exploding.
I'm instantly dying to a machine gun across the map. I'd watch out.
No! You should have saw how much health. You should have saw how much health he had.
Oh,
Oh,
you
that-
get him.
That is nasty. That combo is 50% his health. This is the clip right here. This is the clip I need.
Hey, turn around, go revive me. Go revive me. Turn around.
Don't be a racist bigot. Okay,
He just stood there.
I got this one. Oh, that's good. Just watch this. You can put the smoke on him. No!
What's even happening? They're dying so fast.
He's literally instant killing them. Like I'm gonna.
What are you,
I'm gonna
what
solo
are you
this.
blaming it on me for?
21st century
feel
problem.
hammered. Break his
I'm gonna
shield.
solo this. How did he instantly die then?
You got 2 hammers, didn't you? 2 checks.
Cooper, it's not
Wonderful.
us, it's you. You just gotta like solo it.
Alright, yeah, I'll solo it. I don't need you.
I'm still getting this random explosions over here and I don't know why. There's an overload right here. Unstoppable. He's Cooper, can you stagger this guy?
I don't have one spot.
Just stagger him.
Oh,
I mean, anti-barrier, buddy.
you speak wrong.
Speak to bro.
Like I'm nothing.
Oh, that was that. That was so bad.
Can I get an unstop? Where'd my hammer go? They've disappeared to nothingness.
Well, that was bad. It was Echo. No, Echo. That's from.
We're lost about segregation.
Yeah, I know, but they. It was like
What you bringing up robots for?
because the robots took over and like because the robots the humans were second classes to the robots.
That's funny.
It was connection because yeah.
Don't know.
Ooh, that's so
Holy
bad.
Fuck, there's a million champions in
I need an anti-barrier or not.
You don't need anti-barrier. You want it.
here.
I love unstoppable. It just doesn't work at the time.
Just blade barrage these guys. The
There's
bosses
so
just
many
become
posts. Oh my god, there's so many explosions.
It's like beating him up.